What's up, YTPC? This is DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video, and today I am continuing the series of top 3 blends for 2016. This is part 2 of the series, in which I will be discussing the top 3 Burleys, Dark Fire Kentuckys, and Virginia Periques. Now, Burleys in this category, really you could almost call them Burley Periques or Vapor Burrs, Virginia, Burley, and Perique blends, because while the Burley is obviously very dominant, and that's what makes it a Burley blend, there's quite a bit of Perique in all of these blends. But in number 3, let me orient this correctly, is Old Joe Krantz. Now, Old Joe Krantz is not necessarily a bad tobacco, but I've only had 3 different blends in this category, so, you know, something had to take last if something's gonna take first, right? Can't all be winners. So, Old Joe Krantz took last from the other 2 because for me, it's not an all-day smoke. I kind of have to smoke it. I kind of have to brace myself a little bit. I kind of have to prepare a little bit. Excellent smoke, don't get me wrong. I love it. Again, I've tried 3 different Burley blends. As of the recording of this video, Old Joe Krantz is the weakest of the 3. Or at least, I shouldn't say that because that's kind of ironic because it's kind of a powerhouse. It is the least favorite of the 3. We'll go with that. Number 2, and this might come to a surprise to some of you, Haunted Bookshop. Haunted Bookshop, as Matches describes it, is just an excellent all-around, all-day smoke, Burley blend, and that's why I like it. You know, it doesn't matter or how much I've eaten or how hydrated I am. Doesn't bite. Excellent complexity. It's got about the same amount of complexity, I would say, as Old Joe Krantz, but like I said, it's a lot more smokable. You can smoke it a little bit better all day. It's still a little bit high on the nicotine, but you know what, that's perfectly fine. It is something you can get used to. So, that's why Haunted Bookshop made number 2 on the top 3 list. Number 1 might surprise you, because I actually have a video about a little bit of a mold issue that I had with this tobacco, but this tobacco came back hard and strong, and it was an absolute pleasant surprise. And that blend is Cornell & Deal's Burley Flake number 1. This blend is awesome. You can tailor make it to pretty much any strength you want it to be. You know, Matches, if I remember correctly, said that this isn't quite up to par with Old Joe Krantz in terms of strength and especially nicotine hit. Whereas others have said that it actually surpasses Old Joe Krantz in that regard. As far as I'm concerned, they're both correct. Let me explain why. In my experience, Burley Flake number 1 can be kind of a medium-bodied blend with not a whole lot of nicotine to it if you rub it out and you smoke it real slow. You take your time with it. It's actually a very pleasant, great all-day smoker with still quite a bit of complexity to it, despite being, you know, a simple Burley blend. And by the way, when I say a lot of complexity, I mean relative to it being a Burley blend. In general, it's a lot more complex than, say, half and half, but not as much as, say, a Balkan blend. But still, for a Burley-based blend and what you would expect out of a Burley-based blend, fairly complexity, or has a fair amount of complexity to it. However, if you want a stronger smoke, if you want something that's a lot more full-bodied, produces even, a thicker, chewier smoke, has more nicotine hit to it, what I have found is basically dry it out, like I did in the mold video, and instead of rubbing out the tobacco and letting it kind of crumble into like a ribbon cut or a rough cut, just take the, I can actually demonstrate this right now, real quick. Take, lumps of it, or flakes, I should say. It's a very, very broken flake. And I have this dried out quite a bit. So you take chunks like that, and then you take a pipe like this, and you just put it in there like that. And of course, make the top very neat and add enough tobacco to where you get an adequate draw, but it's not going to affect the draw too much when it's lit. I have found that by doing that, again, fuller bodied smoke, more nicotine to it. Excellent, excellent tobacco. I highly recommend that you get it. Is there a risk of mold? Of course there is. It happens to a lot of people, and not just this blend, but other Cornell and Deal blends. I think if you take the proper precautions, you're going to find that this is an excellent, excellent Burley tobacco. Now, moving on to the Dark Fire Kentuckys. These are Burley tobaccos that have undergone a dark fire process. Sort of similar to, Latakia. But where Latakia has more of a smoky, campfire kind of taste to it, Dark Fire Kentucky has more of a mesquite taste to it. And I've tried a fair amount of Dark Fire Kentucky blends. Only recently have I tried the stronger blends. So, with that in mind, let's start with number 3. Number 3 is Orlick Dark Strong Kentucky. Now, for a while, this was number 1. This was the best Dark Fire Kentucky blend I had tried. And I still like it quite a bit, but I like my Dark Fire Kentucky blends a bit on the heavy side. And that's why this was number 1 for a while, because I hadn't tried the uber heavy Dark Fire Kentucky blends as of yet. Number 2. H.H. Old Dark. Right? Yeah, Old Dark Fire. Very, very complex blend. Pretty heavy. Excellent, excellent smoke. I still have to smoke this quite a bit to get my head around the complexity to it and just the overall flavor profile before I'm comfortable doing a full review on it, but so far I love it. I like it a lot more than Orlick Dark Strong. Outstanding blend. I know quite a few people have done reviews and talked about it as of recently. What's his name? From Stuff and Things. Bradley from Stuff and Things did a review, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. HH Old Dark Fired, number 2 on my list. And number 1, this shouldn't come to too big a surprise to some of you, HH Bold Kentucky from McBaron. Love that blend. Very full-bodied, uber full, Dark Fire Kentucky, fucking goodness. Like I said, full-bodied, full-flavored, very, very good smoke. If you haven't tried it already, it's an excellent blend. It is a little bit heavier on the nicotine. I should mention that Old Dark Fired is a little bit heavier on the nicotine compared to Orlick Dark Strong, but if you can handle that, these are two excellent blends to try. So, with that out of the way, let's move to the Virginia Periques. So, number 3 in the Virginia Perique, and it's a blend I don't have. I actually ran out of it recently. Excuse me, my throat's getting dry. That is Deception's Pass from Seattle Pipe Club. Very, very good blend. It's got some Orientals in it to kind of, add some complexity to the Virginia Perique to it. I like it. I like it a lot. Again, I ran out of it, so I need to get more, but that's number 3 on my spot, and I've tried a few Virginia Periques, so for that to make number 3 is quite the statement. Number 2, Elizabethan Mixture. What's awesome about Elizabethan Mixture is, to me, this is the perfect Virginia Perique. Not my all-time favorite, but it is the perfect Virginia Perique. Why? Elizabethan Mixture is the perfect balance between sweet and spicy, has quite a bit of complexity to it, and it just tastes like it's well balanced. And it is the Virginia Perique that should be compared to other Virginia Periques. And last, but certainly not least, Peter Stokkebye's Luxury Bullseye Flakes. These two are fairly close to being balanced, though a little bit more on the sweeter side with that Black Cavendish added to it. To me, the Black Cavendish not only adds a sweetness, but it also adds kind of a green tea kind of taste to, at least my perspective, it adds kind of a green tea taste. I love it. Absolutely can't say nothing bad about it. No tongue bite whatsoever. Burns at an excellent pace despite being kind of a pressed tobacco. It does require some preparation, but if you can get over that, again, it's an outstanding tobacco at an excellent price. Unfortunately, it only comes in bulk, but then again, that keeps the price down. So, guys, that has been part 2 of my top 3 tobacco blends for 2016. This has been DSG Pipe Smoker with another pipe smoking video. You guys have a good day.